Hi guys, I'm going to try to post some videos to help you with your design and technology coursework. Let's talk about in this video how to create a colored border for your coursework pages. This is something I did for both GCSE and A-Level. Some teachers might not recommend you to have a border, so double check with them if they want you to have a border like I'm about to show you in this video. I will quickly show you how to do this on Google Slides, which is what I prefer. You can probably do something quite similar on Microsoft PowerPoint though as well. So I've opened up Google Slides. The first thing I'm going to do is close that there. I'm going to get rid of the two boxes in the middle of the page. I'm then going to click on shapes. If you want your border to have like a right angle sort of 90-degree, you would click the sort of rectangle one, or if you want it to have a curve, you can click the curve one. I think this sort of straight one looks better, so like the 90-degree edges. So I'm going to draw a box that sort of fills up majority of the page. I'm going to set the color of this box to white, the basic pure white color, and I can get rid of the outline and click transparent on the border of this shape here. Now it all just looks white. I'm going to click on the background. I'm going to pick a color for my border for the background of the page. For example, like a darkish blue or green or purple. I wouldn't pick one of the bright sort of neon blue or colors or whatever. For example, a dark blue. I'm happy with this. I want the border to be quite sort of minimalistic and quite sort of skinny. The bigger it is, obviously, the more page it covers, the more space in the page it covers. We're not having a border to take up space, to have sort of less space on the page for our work. We want a really small and just thin border. So I'm going to stretch that out to the edges. It doesn't have to be perfect yet. What I can do is center this box, keep making sure it's centered. I can also zoom in. I can click, for example, like 400 sort of zoom in as a percentage to zoom into the page. I can go on a corner and I can just drag this box a little bit more to the edge, something like that, something quite sort of close to the edge. Same for the bottom, I can do that here. So again, I can just drag this closer to the edge. Same for the right side, so that's quite far apart. So again, I can make that more narrower. I can click back onto fit, and then just to finish off, I can make sure both those red lines there, I can move the box, make sure both those red lines are centered. That tells me this box is now on the center of the page. It's a little bit too close to the edge on the right and left, so I can just zoom in again and just move that out a little bit. Obviously you can play with this and make it perfect yourself. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm going to just leave it as that, and again make sure it's centered. So now that's the border, that's what it's going to look like. But for now, obviously the box in the middle can move and we don't want it to move. We want it to lock it in place. So I can do Control Z to go back. I'm going to leave it here for a second. Something else you can do is put like a sort of almost like a page number or like a section number. So for example, on my GCSE pages I've just showed you, I put like a 1.1 on the bottom left, showing, for example, the research section, the designing section. For example, number 3 might be the manufacturing section or whatever. We're going to use another shape. I might do a curved one this time. So nice little curved on the bottom left corner. I can set maybe like a dark red color for this, for example, like a brownish color. Again, click transparent there. We want it to be smaller is better. We don't want it to be too big. And I can leave it as there for now. In the future, I can put, for example, 1.1 to show maybe a section number. The research section, maybe a specification might be a specific number, and I can set that as the black color there, and I can put that on top, and that can almost be like a page number or like a section number, something like that later on. I can change the font as well, but I'm going to remove that for a second. We can now save the background, so we don't want these sort of features to move around, so we can save the background. How we're going to do this is we're going to go into File, click Download, save it as a PNG or JPEG. Both of them should work. I'm going to do a PNG for now and save it to my computer. It's going to the download section. Now what I can do is, for example, create a new page, and again get rid of those two boxes, then click on background and import in the picture I've just saved. So click on choose image, click on browse, go to my downloads folder, click on the the untitled presentation, the picture I've just saved, and click done. Now here I've got this background. It's not going anywhere. It's stuck to the back of the page, and this is the border sort of done. A couple other things we can do. I'd recommend you have a title on the top of all of your pages, and again you can sort of have some sort of colored box and stick it to the background of your page like we've done here, or I can just have like a floating title at the top. We want to have on the bottom some sort of center number. We might have our sort of teacher name, or like candidate number even, for example. At the bottom, and again, your teacher will sort of tell you to do this, or tell you specifically what information you need, and you're going to have that somewhere on the bottom, again nice and centered hopefully, and a nice black color looks nice. On the bottom there we can do page numbers. Again, your page number can just be a number that you update every single time, or it can be baked into the background with like a colored circle or a colored square, and that can go in the bottom corner. We also want to have a introduction box to each page, and again, that can be a nice colored box. For example, if I go onto like black here and pick like a nice bluish color, I can have some sort of intro showing what the purpose of the page is, what we're doing on this page, whether that's your specification, that's your design ideas, that's your manufacturing page. And then we can also do a conclusion towards the bottom, maybe showing what we've learned from our findings from this page, and what we've sort of discovered, something like that. And this is how we're going to set up our page, with the border, title, intro, conclusion, and some sort of candidate number at the bottom. And that's it. That's how we do it. This is how you do it on Google Slides. I'm sure you can do something very similar on Microsoft PowerPoint. Create your page with the shapes, save it as like a PNG or a JPEG, and then put that as the background of your page. So now none of these boxes will be able to move because it's sort of secured as the background. Okay, if you have any issues or questions, drop a comment below. Let me know what stage of your coursework you're at and what other videos you'd like to see from me.